All right. Hello, everybody. This is Nate. This is Smashing the Party. I'm totally out of my element. You know how I roll, flying by the seat of my pants. I got my eyes dilated today, so I couldn't fucking see up until about 2 hours ago. So I'm even looking for my cable for my phone, and I can't find it. So we're gonna look for that while I'm live, um, because I want to take phone calls today, and I want to take phone calls today. So just give me a second. You're gonna have to hang with me. Nobody watches live anyway, so fucking chill. Just chill. Yeah, I got a lot going on here, so just relax. All right. Where is my cable? There she is. Yay. All right. Now I need my phone, and I'm good to go. I'm gonna blur this just because I don't want you to see how horrible I am. Hey Siri, where's my phone? All right. All right. Can I hear myself? I can hear myself. Yay. All right. All right. Sorry about that, guys. You know how I roll. All right. Welcome to Nightcap. So, as I was saying earlier, now I was running. Now I got to take a puff of my inhaler. Today, started doing some stuff. Was working on actually kind of preparing for the next week. As you know, this week was kind of, it wasn't my best week, but I then went and got my eyes dilated and I couldn't see. So that sucked. I really couldn't see. Like I couldn't see. I tried to use magnifiers. Couldn't see. I don't know why they let me drive home because I couldn't see. I really couldn't see. So that's my excuse for today. But just in case someone's feeling bold, you can call in. In fact, I'll put the number up here since I didn't prepare for this. And then I do got some. I will say something that's worthwhile for those people that are paying for these shenanigans. I promise I'll give you something to talk about. Let me just make sure I'm on the right phone number. And then I'm going to put this up. So I'm going to put up a little text here. This might take a second, but see how fast I can do it. It's going to be really ghetto. But 717-964-8786. That's the number, just in case anybody's feeling frisky. And we'll do that. Oh, that's bad. I'll fix it. Don't worry. Let me see here. Make it better. Come on now. Shrink it. See, this is what I got to do. This is why. There we go. Yeah, we're just going to put it right there. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're doing it live. So I'm not going to, maybe I can make it animated quick. I don't know. Look, all right, just relax. You know, I'm trying to shoot from the seat of my pants. Can I make it animated? Let's see. Is there a filter? Text filter. Scroll. We'll try that. Does that scroll? We'll try horizontal scroll. There we go. All right, I got to put a space in there, huh? I'll make it smaller. There we go. All right, whatever. We're live. I'll make it smaller. I don't know how I'm going to be able to tell if somebody called. I don't even know how. Look. All right. So that's kind of ghetto, but whatever. It's fine. I'll make it smaller. And then I will get my content rolling. Can I make it smaller? I want to make it smaller, but whatever. I'm going to make it really small so that you guys can see. Because if you have 4K, it looks like weird. What the fuck, dude? Listen, I've watched people on live all the time, and they suck worse than I do right now. So just get over yourself. If you're like, what the fuck? Plus, I don't look this good. Not me. I mean the camera. So chill. I mean, I look all right. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not terrible looking. I'm not terrible looking. I have a unique look that I'm proud of. Should I put it at the bottom? You know what? I should probably put it at the bottom. There we go. Like, that's kind of ghetto, right? Whatever. All right. Our phone's ringing off the hook. Oh, wait. Somebody did call. Uh-oh. Somebody's calling, and it didn't work. All right. Good to know. Wait a second here. Let me see why it's not working. Hold on, Taylor. I saw you called in. So why didn't it work? Why didn't it answer? Hold on. So second device, turn that off. I don't know. Try it again. Try it again, Taylor. Make and receive calls through Wi-Fi. I don't know why it's not working, but let's see if I can hear his message. Oh, somebody called in, and I don't know why it's not answering. What the hell? All right, hold on. Somebody's calling in. Can you hear me, Taylor?
I can hear you.
Holy shit. I hope everyone else can hear me. What's up, man? So, Taylor, did you call in to fuck with me or what?
I just called in to ask you a question.
All right, what's the question? Who's at your house? And
can you see me?
I can't see you. I can. All I do is I have.
Because your pupils are dilated.
Oh yeah. So that's your question. That's your fucking question.
Yeah.
Who else is there?
No one. I'm laying in my bed right now, just looking at you on my TV. You know.
Shut up. Knock it off.
This is how I go to bed.
Knock it off.
What?
Are you seriously? You're not doing anything gross, are you?
Ah, no. My other hand's just scratching my head.
All right.
The one on my neck.
I saw you message. I don't know why it doesn't ring, but is that sound? Is that squeaky sound? You or me? Probably you.
I don't know. I think it's the background because of
The echo.
the TV like play. Yeah.
So then I guess
Kinda like,
when people call in, I gotta tell them to mute their audio. That's what I gotta do.
let me see if I can do it. Hold on.
I figured you would call just because I.
Is it better? Is it better now?
Yeah. It's perfect. So it still kind of
There you
sounds
go.
like it. No, it sounds like a phone call, but I'm just wondering, like, dude, I just pulled this out of my ass to do this because I couldn't see. I swear, did you ever get your pupils dilated? Did you ever get them dilated?
No, I don't. I listen to the dilated peoples, but
Oh, see. So by the way, if you don't know, Taylor's a friend of mine. He's funny. He's doing comedy stuff. And, I'm just worried that he's going to say something that's going to incriminate me somehow.
no, man, I'm here to support you, not bring you down.
All right,
but
I love you.
If you'd like me to say something, I could.
No conversations that we have at your house. No conversations we have on the way to Morgantown. None. Zero. This is
Man, we need a nightcap after hours.
that's
kind
that's
of phone
coming.
call.
That's coming. That's coming. So are you real? There's no one at your house right now, for real. Tawn's not there.
No, no one's over right now. I'm going to bed soon.
All right.
Had
Well,
a lot of long days. I'm tired.
I appreciate you calling in. I kind of figured it would be either you or the last time Jimmy called in, Jimmy Garrity. So sorry, Jimmy, if I'm putting your name out there, but look, I didn't have any content, so it's actually cool that you called because I get to test this out. And there are people that pay to see my shit, those kind-hearted souls. So you guys don't realize who I have on the line here. This is Taylor, and I'm not going to say his last name to protect his identity, but he is a local celebrity.
Like Madonna.
He's kind of like our own Madonna, locally. I mean,
because I go by one name, Taylor.
he goes by one name. He also put out a sex book, and it went over like a Led Zeppelin.
It's a short story.
It's a short story. No, but anyway, I'll just tell people this is the guy that I'm working with on how to make content for his show and his stuff he's got going on. So I don't even want to keep you on the line because I'm really worried that somehow you're going to slip up and my whole secret identity is going to be broken. Just kidding.
I'm actually writing down right now things that I'm going to bring up about you.
Oh,
like
okay.
Personal things.
So did it ring when you called?
It rang. Yeah, the first time it rang and went to some kind of voice messaging system, and then second time, it just came through to your beautiful voice.
All right. Well, that's good. Does it sound? How's it sound? Can you hear this? Hold on. Let me see if can you hear
Warning. We say.
Can you hear that?
I hear like beeping and like sound effects, and then I heard like warning.
Oh yeah.
Warning.
All right. Good. So that way, when someone calls and I don't like them, or they say something good, I can give them a round of applause, or
It didn't sound like a round of applause. It sounded more like a waterfall.
Oh, maybe because it's so loud. I don't know. Anyway.
I can hear that.
Yeah, because I
like
turned the
tell
volume
jokes.
down. I think. Look, I got to get the sound set up right. Like I said, I pulled out of my ass tonight. Listen, I don't want to keep you up. You're the man. I will definitely give you. Anytime you want to come on here and like talk, even if you want to talk about whatever crazy shit. I know you're not political. I actually talk about you. I don't say your name, but I talk about friends like you that really aren't political, but you do lean one way or the other. You actually said to me one day, you're like, I agree with the things that you post. I think that's what you said, something like that. I don't know if you still hold that opinion.
Hey, it depends on the day, but so far you're batting a high average.
High average? What do you mean? I'm not batting 100? What the fuck? What kind of fucking dad are you?
100's pretty bad, man. You want to bat 1,000.
Oh, okay. Shit. Fuck. See, I don't even know bad.
It's all good, dude.
All right. Well, listen, we're gonna move on, but thanks for calling in, brother.
All
I
right,
really
dude.
appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Nate.
All right.
Have
I'll
a good
talk to you
night.
soon, brother. See ya.
Bye.
There you go, folks. There was a call in. Of course, that was a setup, but I love it, and that's my boy. We he has the desire to put out content, but he's doing some comedy stuff. He's doing some kind of really kind of I'd say cutting edge comedy, because I've kind of warned him that some of the things that he's going to put out might be a little risque, but if anyone can pull it off, it'll be Taylor. So while, just in case somebody else calls, that's dope. I don't know if I'm going to hear it, but I'll check my phone. I'll just get into what I was going to talk about and stop fucking around. That was, by the way, Taylor, you're the man. Thanks for calling in. That wasn't a fuck around. I love that you called in. I didn't expect anybody. I thought maybe you might call in, but that's just because you're my boy and you're always supporting me. But I wanted to talk about like kind of this thing that's going on right now, where there's a couple posts I made today about, I've been really trying to do my best to advocate for transgender folks, and that's because my wife happens to be a close friend, who's working. They're both kind of in the same journey of sobriety, and they're working together. And my wife is finding that she's learning all kinds of things about this person, and this person's been fantastic. It's Chloe, and so after I started talking to Chloe, I started to realize, like, I don't know anything about transgender folks. I don't even understand the struggle. It's hard to wrap my head around that mindset where you're kind of like you're locked in somebody else's body. And that's, if you watch The Matrix, the Wachowski brothers, they are now the Wachowski sisters, because they did a transformation. And if you look at the Matrix movies, you can kind of see this. They're kind of analogous to the struggle that they were going through, kind of being detached and kind of pulling out, and the whole new world opening up. Once you realize that you're kind of out, you're not really in a real body. I would say that you could make that comparison. But the reason I've been doing, as I said, I started Smashing the Party because I was frustrated with the parties back in the 2009 when I registered the domain. Okay, I did not like the way the Democrats were handling themselves. Obama was getting hammered. We didn't do shit to get him his Congress or on his during the midterms. So he was basically kind of at the whim of the Republicans, and they just didn't fucking care about. They don't really care about anybody. There's no agenda in the Republican Party. Let's just say that. I mean, we talked about the 11-point plan that Rick Scott put out, but it was fucking bullshit. It was fascist. It was crazy. So, and again, I want a good, respectable, truth-saying Republican Party. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, Republicans are evil. They are fucking misguided right now, and they're acting like maniacs. And by the way, if I said the R word, I apologize. It still slips out once in a while. So sometimes I say it, and I shouldn't. And that's just as bad as the N word. I'm sorry. I really apologize. I think I might have left it out. But anyway, I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm talking about the R word that has to do with mentally challenged folks. So anyway, I'm one of those people that wants to see a good conservative party, a good opposition party. I mean, that's how you're supposed to have good ideas, and it'd be stupid to think that Democrats have all the good ideas. Republicans should be able to come up with some good ideas. Unfortunately, right now they're trying to serve two masters, the rich and everyone else, and they're just conflicting masters. They don't kind of pay the same, if you will. And one kind of brings home the bacon for them, and so they're going to do all their bidding, and the other one's just kind of somebody that they need during certain parts of the year to get elected, and that's about it. And so they've realized that, and they've kind of honed in on who their base is, and of course they're flush with cash, and they're okay with funneling it from any country other than ours, as well, as we know from the Russian influence in the Republican Party. But I really also wanted to make this a platform where we could talk about people that we don't understand, as well as make sure that we're not punching down on people we don't understand. And that happens all the time. The African American is just the easy choice of a punching bag that's been happening for a long time, and now people kind of have this idea that somehow they're not of the same caliber person, and because of the systems that we've created that have enabled higher poverty rates in African American families, we're now sitting here with several problems of poverty and so forth that are happening in the community. That's not to suggest that African Americans aren't doing well in this country in different aspects. But I don't want to just kind of paint the picture that all African Americans are struggling and that we're kind of we're victims, because that's not true either. But we've talked about systems and how they kind of affect generationally. Certainly when you take somebody's land from them and then you use it to develop and you pass that on to your kids, that is stolen land that you're using. And so that generational wealth doesn't get the opportunity to be built in the African American community because of some of those things, and in other communities as well. We obviously have, as a nation, this disdain for people of color coming into our country. While we have no major border crisis in Canada, we do have one in Mexico, and that's because of some of our foreign policy that we've actually had in Central America and South America. We can go into that another time. But really, this is, that punching up was the point. Talking truth to power, being a real fucking press, not some bullshit ass corporate fucking paid motherfucker that you turn on, you pay a subscription to on TV, and then you get this canned corporate response of everything. That's not what I wanted to be. I wanted to just say what the fuck I wanted to say. I wanted to be funded by the people that want to listen to me, and that's it. I wanted to speak truth to power like our founders talked about. They didn't talk about, a corporately owned propaganda machine that we have today. But really, I also want to talk about things that people don't understand, but as well as defending and advocating for people that don't have a voice. And right now, I believe that women are slighted in so many ways. There's a patriarchy that's going on. It's such a cliche term, but it's fucking true. Men run the world for the most part, unfortunately, because that's why we're in so many fucking quagmires, because they've got egos. And certainly when a man gets older and he can't get it up anymore, he's got nothing to do but try to seek power. That's really what Putin's dealing with right now. He probably can't get a hard on. He's missing his younger days, and so he wants to feel virile and he wants to feel powerful. And so that's my theory, though. Old men, they lose their ability to actually have sex or do anything. And, you're probably thinking, Nate, look, everything's not about sex. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck is it with old men and just wanting to do land grabs and shit? So this is my theory. I'm going to paint it again. This isn't a news. This isn't like official news or journalistic integrity kind of thing. This is just Nate Bomberger spouting what the fuck is up with the patriarchy. And so I oftentimes, you'll see a lot of things in my feed. I defend women. I am a huge fan of women, as many people may know. I love my wife. I've always been a fan of women, and in every sense that you can think of. And so, I also don't like to see them, downtrodden, and I like to see them succeed, as you know. But also, I love to see people accomplish their goals. And right now, there's a lot. As you start to learn history, you start to read books, and you start to look back, the history was written mostly by men. And so there's a lot of folks that didn't get an opportunity to have their day in the sun or even have a legacy because they're women. So I often try to defend their positions, and I advocate for reproductive rights, even though I don't have any kids. And even though I'm not the one it's not my body, I still advocate for them because I see the imbalance. I mean, you could see I was Elizabeth Warren fan. She didn't win. She was fucking clearly the best candidate Democrats had. Get off your fucking shit, Bernie bros, because Bernie was, he's just about halfway in the grave, just like Biden. But so I'm saying all that because that's what I want to be remembered as. If I were to die tomorrow, I want to be remembered as somebody that tried their best to defend folks that didn't have a voice. I'm not going to get on here and fucking give Elon Musk, virtual, fillet him virtually like everyone else. Like you see people are like, Elon Musk, he's so great. I mean, he's got everything. What the fuck? And he's out there crying on Twitter. And I mean, I'm not gonna speak kindly about somebody who has everything and still whines and moans. And it certainly is a white cis male that has no issues, grew up rich. So you're not going to see me kind of, even though we can talk about the great things that they've made or built. And I used to own Tesla stock. I sold it once he fucking went batshit crazy, which was stupid financially, but fuck it. I'm doing well in other things. But I'm not gonna come on here and defend people that clearly have all the advantages. I'm not going to feel sorry for, a 75% tax on fucking Jeff Bezos. I'm just not going to feel the sympathy. Now, I know a lot of you guys are simping for these people, and I know people in my feed will get all excited about it. And you know, when every time you talk about Elon Musk, you know, somehow the algorithms kind of fire off to all the white incels out there, and also the folks that, you know, maybe they have a couple million in the bank and they're just thinking that they're fucking little billionaires. I'm not gonna simp for those people. I'm never gonna fucking simp for those people ever, fucking ever. I don't give a fuck. So I defend people that don't have voice, and transgender folks happen to be in the target of the GOP because it's a wedge issue. It's a fucking wedge issue. So I made a post. You know, I've been making posts on social media quite a bit, and of course, I made a post, and you've got the simpers that'll come along. Most of the time, they're libertarian leaning, and they'll come in and they'll say they want clarification or some dumbass shit on some transgender policy. It's like, what the fuck is your deal? What is your deal? Get the, you know, and this is the worst thing about it, is that oftentimes it's coming from, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's a white male that will have a comment on some kind of preference. Today it was 2, you know, they're friends of mine. They decided to comment on this post, and one made the comment, hey, you know, sounds like something a fur dad would do. And of course he was trying to hammer me because I have no kids. And I'm sorry that you think that it's weird that somebody that has no kids might care about other kids that are being beat up or other kids' livelihood. That's just, you know, I don't even believe in the same fucking religion as you. And I still find no problem understanding the plight of somebody else or some other child that's growing up. It's just fucking easy for me. I don't believe I'm an empath. I just, you know, because that's kind of a cliche too. But I think just logically, I don't believe that other people should have to suffer, especially when it comes down to, you know, some preference, or you don't understand it, so you want to ban it, or whatever the fuck that kind of shit is. And that happens right now a lot in the Republican Party and conservative circles. And I throw libertarians in that mix because they're oftentimes all about freedom until something kind of rolls up to their door, and then they're like, well, I don't think it should be that way. And so you saw that in the feed today. You saw this idea of, you know, hey, the 2 people that posted that had some, you know, wanted to create a little stir and wanted me to engage, which I don't fucking engage with idiots anymore. I don't. Other people take that role. This is an idiotic position to say, hey, you know what? We should provide mental health and other services for children that are in this mix. If you have a problem with that, or you need clarification, I don't have any words for you. All I know is this is a child. There are people that go through this. The spectrum is grand, whether it's biological or psychological, like Neil deGrasse Tyson says. It doesn't matter. It exists. And these people go through this. They have a whole different world experience than you. And so I defend that, especially when I know somebody who's going through this and I hear their plight. I'm like, what the fuck is that for? Go do you. Go do you. And so, like I said, when I say I don't understand, I'm not trying to ostracize the transgender community either. It's just that I am not capable of mentally putting myself in their shoes, because I don't understand what it's like to put my shoes in a homosexual or gay person. I don't. I like one thing, and that's it. At least that's what I understand to like. I'm going to say that because, you know, I think even preference can be fluid. So I'm putting that out there because, again, I've just, you know, I've decided how I am, and that's who I identify as, and that's my preference. But I'm not going to hate on somebody who had this preference all their life and decided at one point they wanted to go the other way. That's preference, one's identity. And what we're talking about with transgender folks is we're talking about identity, who they are. And so when you attack that, you know, you hear these people talking about, I hate identity politics. When you start attacking that, I just have a big fuck you, because you're attacking that person. You have no idea what they've gone through. You have no idea. And so you could make the argument, well, Nate, you don't know what all these politicians are going through. Well, listen, once you become a public face, or once you put yourself out there, whatever you're putting yourself out there I think it's okay to criticize. Now, I also, on the other hand, believe that people have a right to privacy, and I wrote a blog post on it a while back. So I'm not, this isn't conflicting views. These are very nuanced views. There's a difference between conflicting and nuance, by the way. If you watch my show, I tend to be more nuanced. I may have things that you may think are conflicting, but trust me, I'm not just fucking like going on this thinking that I can be somebody that has a voice in this platform without kind of going through my ideas and kind of cementing what I believe.
bottom line is it's the golden rule. It's pretty fucking simple. You know, you do unto others as you want done to you. And so if I was going through an issue where I was not sure about who I was as a person, I would want that the society would say, you know what, you're a human being. We embrace all our brothers and sisters on this planet, and so we want to do whatever we can to help you. Now, I know that's a fucking pie in the sky shit. It's Star Trek shit, right? But the truth is, that's why I have this platform. And so, you know, that's just an example. When I make those transgender posts and I get the white cis male that comes in and has this smart ass comment that I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't have any kids, or that they require some explanation for understanding for what that child's going through, I'm just like, get the fuck off. Like, you know, I appreciate you coming on and engaging on my content, but what I won't engage with those kind of, with when you're coming from this perspective that you're up here and this person that you have no idea, you don't know anybody that's transgender, you don't know anyone that's post-op. And so I would argue that you really aren't qualified to even criticize. But that doesn't matter because you know, who am I to who am I to criticize everybody, right? You could make the argument that I'm not qualified to criticize anybody either. Well, that's fine. Make it on your own fucking show. Not on my page, especially when I'm talking about somebody that doesn't have a voice. And look, it is different for me too. It's not easy to understand. If you watch the interview that I have that's posted, it's pinned at the top of it's on YouTube. It's also pinned at the top of my, on my Facebook page. And it's getting, you know, it's getting quite a lot of views. I'm just going to leave it up there because I feel like that video just shows my timidness, my trepidation of asking questions. I was uncomfortable because I didn't want to offend, but I wanted to know. And so I felt like, you know, the more and more I think about that interview, it was as honest as I could be without kind of being a complete, you know, asshole and asking questions that maybe I wanted to know, but maybe aren't appropriate. Which again, I pretty much had all the answers. So the whole point of this kind of mini rant is to say that, you know, this platform is my platform where I want to have a voice. I hope to add people and grow it, obviously, and I don't say that possessively to push people away. I say that because it's my way of expressing myself, and the way I want to express this platform is to be supportive of those people that don't have the voice that you or I might have. And, you know, that's why I'm not going to simp for rich people. I'm not going to simp for folks, the white male that's doing fine here. I know now when it comes to class, of course I'll talk to somebody about class, or, you know, that's where, you know, a lot of folks, there's poor white people and there's poor black people. But for the most part, there are advantages that are built into the system and disadvantages that are built into the system that target certain folks based on their demographic. And right now you're looking at the Republican Party trying to gin up another wedge issue of this whole transgender, because it's confusing and people don't understand it, and it's not often talked about. We never talk about it. And quite frankly, they feel ostracized even from the gay community. And that's something Chloe let us know. So, but this wedge issue that's coming up is going to be used during the midterms. That critical race theory, and you know, they'll probably gin up some other boogeymen so that we'll be scared. And the people that commented on my feed, those people will react. They will say, you know what? There's no fucking way I want some guy or girl coming in the bathroom. The concern that ultimately came out after some kind of extraction points from some other folks on this feed was that this person was concerned about transgenders in sports. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Who fucking cares if they play sports? If it's a man and he goes to and he's converted and he's now playing a women's sport, so fucking what? What's the fucking big deal? So he wins all the fucking shit. So what? Like, what does it fucking matter? Like, seriously, what the fuck does it matter? What's the big deal? So you're saying, so now you're worried that a bunch of people are going to just get a sex change just because they want to compete? Is that what your fucking concern is? I mean, come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. I mean, that's so fucking like, it's so like, what a fucking thing to build it. What a stupid, selfish thing to build a wall around a group of people that are already getting fucked over. They're already committing suicide at, you know, astronomical rates compared to other demographics. And now you're saying, well, we need to make sure that they don't get what they want. I'm just going to say, I don't see where it's going to happen often, where folks are going to be kind of put out of their sport because of rising population of transgender folks. I just think that's the fucking weirdest fear in the world. If you think your daughter or your son are going to be displaced because of transgender athletes, you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking moron. And even if they lose to a transgender, so fucking what? So what? So what? What's the fucking big deal? Like, who cares? Right now, your kid loses anyway, they get a fucking trophy. So what are you fucking worried about if somebody fucking beats them that happened to go through a way different, a whole different struggle than your child did, and so now they come in and they beat your kid still gets a fucking trophy. And so what the fuck? That's the world we live in now. Get it up, get faster. And maybe once we have a population that we've accepted transgender, and maybe we do come up with a new category. But right now, to be fearful, and the reason I say that is because if it came to the point where we had so many people that were transgender that really kind of came out of nowhere, and they came, they have this whole kind of identity that they have, and they've gone through the operations, they've done all that stuff, and we have a whole bunch of them where we can make a whole new category, fantastic. But if we can't, fucking throw them in the same category. Who fucking cares? First, it was the bathrooms, and that wasn't good enough because now we have multi-gendered bathrooms, and now all of a sudden that sports, we're gonna pick sports, and once we iron the sports thing out, we realize they're not a threat to my daughter or my son. Then they'll find some other reason. Well, it's uncomfortable, or they'll find books in fucking schools to ban and all that dumb shit. My larger point of this is coming from the party that believes in freedom. Another perfect example that was live TV was Rick DeSantis, the fucking dude down in the ex-SEAL guy that's kind of a wannabe Donald Trump, that's the governor of Florida. He talks about individual freedom all the fucking time. What did he do today? He went in front of a press conference. There were children behind him wearing masks. He said, "You guys don't have to take that off. I'm done with the COVID theatrics, blah, blah." Where's the fucking freedom? Why are you pointing fingers at these children who want to wear masks? Who fucking cares? Is it fucking with your image? Because it was another apparent hypocritical moment where you're seeing the Republican Party really come out, kind of let the lie out of the cat out of the bag, because they're saying, you know what, I don't really believe in freedom for everyone else. I just believe in freedom. And then once that freedom is violated for whatever reason, then I want to instill rules and regulations around other people so that they can't live their life. Talk about abortion, same fucking thing. This is what bothers me about the party of freedom. Of course, they have the patriotism, and now they're the party of parents, which is odd considering that they're coming out with these laws that will criminalize parents for helping their transgender children kind of find themselves. There's now a law in Texas that will criminalize parents for raising their children a certain way. This is the party of parents. This is the party of freedom. What the fuck is that? And so, Facebook is not the world. Social media is not the world, but it's kind of a little snapshot. Every now and then you'll make a post that you'll get a little snapshot of the view inside the mind. Let's check that background keeps on flashing, doesn't it? Let me just see if I can change it. That's cooler, right? How about that? Hold on. Sorry, I know I was on a roll. Could just leave it black too. But so my rant today is going to be short. I had one call. That's fantastic. I didn't do any advertising for it, so I'm not surprised. And typically, there's nobody that watches my lives anyway. It's really discouraging to see folks locally, that are friends that talk this way about other people. These are Christian people. They claim to be Christians, and they're always coming on to Smashing the Party with these comments suggesting that, other people, because other people don't believe the way they believe, they mock it and they laugh at it and they think that they're stupid. And these are the folks that will, in the same kind of fail swoop, argue that guns should be unregulated, and also, arguing that masks are useless, and claiming to be experts in foreign policy, and claiming to be experts on, on deficits. And it's just like, this is what we're dealing with. I was having a conversation with one of my other friends who's brilliant, and I said to him, it's just frustrating, because how do you deal with stupid? How do you deal with people that can't think for themselves, that can't analyze something and take in a new concept without getting emotionally triggered? How do you work with that? How do you convince people? How do you change minds and hearts when you're dealing with moronic people? It takes a lot of patience. It also does take some public shaming. And so sometimes people just need to kind of go back, like all the racists that came out when Donald Trump became elected. They need to go the fuck back in the closet. Go the fuck back, hide your ways. I talk about bringing things out in the open. There are certain things that, if it's behaviors, keep that to yourself. Just because I believe everything should be out in the open doesn't mean I want you, believe in public masturbation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that you keep to yourself. And this is one of those things where it's like, if you're racist and you really don't like black people, keep it to yourself. You start forming a clan and start doing shit, then we got a fucking problem. So if you want to have those beliefs, do it in the privacy of your own home. Make sure you're not hurting anybody, and fucking, get in your forums and jerk each other off about the negativity that exists amongst black people or whatever, and do it. But, I feel like right now what we're seeing with social media is that everyone's emboldened to share their opinion, including yours truly. Look at me. Here I am, standing on my I told you so mountain, hypocrite galore, saying, people should keep their opinions to themselves. I do agree that some opinions should be kept to themselves. I have chosen to put my public opinion out into the ether so that you guys can decide, and I feel like I can do it in a way that's going to hopefully change hearts and minds. It's going to take a while, but I truly believe that there are folks out there that live by this freedom kind of mantra that have no concept of what it really means for someone to be free, or the freedom to them is only free up until a certain point where it kind of bothers them or makes them uncomfortable. Point and case. Florida has passed laws that suggest you're not allowed to talk about certain things as a teacher that have to deal with race because it might make people uncomfortable. What kind of people? I guess white people get uncomfortable when we talk about race. I don't understand why white people get uncomfortable when you talk about race. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other people that are racist. Unless I'm talking about you, you know what I mean? Like, if you get triggered when people talk about race and you're worried that your kids are going to be indoctrinated, it sounds to me like you've got bigger problems than just like, the school board meetings and the fucking mask mandates. It sounds like you have some emotional growth to do. And it sounds like you may need to kind of check yourself and say, why am I so fucked up, scared? And why did I vote this way? Or like Justin, Wagamuth, why did I run on a platform that I didn't know? I didn't know it was this way. School board member Hempfield claims that he ran on the platform, didn't know CRT was part of it. Total shit. Total lies. But why would you run on that and say that you don't agree, that you're not racist, but you have a problem with them discussing race? What's the fucking big deal? We're changing history? No, we're not changing history. We're talking about the real fucking history. It's not, American history is black history. It's the entire history of kind of how this country was built on cheap labor. This is all kind of real important shit. It's important to understand history so you can understand why, black people are kind of aggregated around cities and metropolis and metropolitan areas, and why, the rural areas are kind of commandeered in certain parts of the country by folks that are white. Those are historical reasons for that shit. And so, the Party of Freedom, that claims to be the party of parents, that claims to have all the ideas that's good for America. They're the real Americans. They're speaking of the real Americans. Make America great again, whatever the fuck that means. That party has there is no there. And so what happens when there's no there, there's no platform, there's no long-term vision for what America is. There might be a long-term vision, but it may be scary. It may have to do with white supremacy if you're really going to roll things out. But there's no codified vision for America. And so what they're going to do to make sure they continue to get elected, and it's a reasonable short-term goal, is to create wedge issues that will trigger you to make stupid comments and argue positions that you have no business arguing. And that's what you're falling for. And these are the same people that call me a sheep and say that I'm a sheeple and that, you know, I'm kind of following the crowd. And I'm like, what fucking crowd you talking about? I don't really have a crowd, first of all. And I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people that don't like me. I blocked liberals. I blocked Republicans equally. Truth. And I blocked liberals on my feed because they were fucking chauvinistic assholes. And that's, you know, I have no problem doing that as well. So, you know, I'm not suggesting that liberals are perfect in any way, but it seems to me that the you know, as I'm looking at through my lens, and I've tried to pierce my bubble periodically, is that the party of freedom is really the party of rules and regulations that will help them maintain their Judeo-Christian values and their white supremacy. That's really all I can do. That's the conclusion I come to. And that doesn't mean if you're a Republican, that's the way you think. But if you're a Republican right now, you have to be frustrated with with where your party's going and the fact that you really can't identify 3 core visions for your party. You can't do it. And so that has to at least check yourself. Unless you're a traditionalist and you believe that, you know, my family and my dad was a Republican, so I'll just keep on voting R no matter what. I'm going to go down with the ship. That's also an archetype you could take on. Why is my nose? You know, I must be getting hot because my nose is running as I start to talk. But so, look, I'm going to cut tonight. You know, I had my one call. Taylor, you're the man. You're the man. I love you for calling in. I appreciate it. I didn't do any advertising for this. I've not been spending any money on Facebook. By the way, I have several posts I've done really good considering I haven't spent any money on Facebook. I was talking to a colleague who also does some advertising online, and they made the statement that, you know, it's so easy to pay a couple dollars and get 1,000 views on a video. I've chosen to hold my fire for a little bit because I'm not quite ready, and I want the next level where I start boosting, or if I start getting back into that game, I want it to be a little bit higher caliber. But I will say that for not paying anything on my Facebook, and Facebook's one of the last, you know, it's one of the first to monetize their network, meaning you can't make a connection without them knowing about it. You're going to pay for it. Or if it's a free one, maybe your friend shared or liked something, but that's a gift. To get outside of that bubble is very difficult. With, you know, to actually have a viral post is very difficult on Facebook. In fact, I don't even think it happens. They wouldn't allow it. That's too much money going out the door. If I was a manager at Facebook and I said, "What the fuck is that? Why is that video going viral? Did we get any money for that? Because it's on our network and look at all those connections it made. You gotta do something about that." So of course it'll go offline, or somebody they'll boost it. But you don't see that viralness happen on Facebook. You might get, you know, 5,000, 10,000, and it does happen. They'll allow it to happen to give us the vision that it can happen, so that people continue posting content. But the truth is that they've monetized all the connections. So all that being said, I feel like I'm doing pretty good this year with as far as my reach. I had some high goals for doing, you know, hitting 1 million people this year without paying on Facebook. Where I'm at right now, it's probably going to be difficult. But the reason I'm saying all that is because, you know, I truly believe in the kind of the vision of remaining true to what I want to do with this platform, and also not supporting Facebook during this time, quite frankly, as they try to figure out what their fucking role is in the global market, because it seems like they have no vision for what their end game is either. And I felt like while I can get cheap, easy views, I'd rather kind of move into a place where I'm putting out solid content and let the cards fall where they may. You may say that's stupid, but there's a long-term strategy. It's why I'm also going on TikTok, because that's organic. All that being said, you know, the transgender discussions seem to be, you know, actually hitting a lot, and that's not why I'm posting it, but I'm glad that they are, because it's something that a lot of people don't understand, including myself. And I'll say that they always get engagement. And it's always from the white male that will come in and make the smart comments. And of course they know everything. And most of the time it's a person that claims to be a Christian that'll come in and put a comment down about how this is wrong, or they'll make some, you know, kind of witty statement to make me feel stupid. And so I don't engage anymore. I fortunately have a lot of folks that follow me that will engage with those folks. And so I need the engagement, but I just refuse to. Especially because this is not a fucking joke. It's not a fucking joke when you're born that way and you have this. And I say born that way because they're born and then this happens and they believe this, and so they're that way. You can fucking argue the science of it or whatever. I don't give a fuck about the science, actually. This is what people are identifying as, and so it is. Oh, what if they want to identify as a Lego? I mean, that's just fucking stupid. You're not. You're using a straw man, whatever the fuck, some kind of fallacy. I'm not doing that. This is a thing. It happens, and so I will continue to do my best to support, and I will fight. I told you I've gotten in arguments with friends about using certain derogatory terms that are out there for transgender folks, and I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be silent. This is a friend. It was a cool conversation. They threw this in there. Fuck that. I stopped the conversation. I said no. Not cool. And of course I didn't win them over with that, but I will just say that I truly believe that when you are able to easily look down on somebody, it means that you could easily find a reason to look down on me. And so I don't allow that. I feel like any room I walk into, everyone there is my equal, and I don't give a fuck. People call that cockiness. It's weird because they think that's cocky. It's just like, I just don't think anybody's better than me. And so I want them to treat me that way too. And when I see somebody punching down on somebody else, what the fuck makes you think you're better than them? You have no idea what the fuck they went through. And that fires me up. So look, I've already gone longer than I thought. So I'm going to cut, but I want to say I got one more day tomorrow, and then I'm going to take a week off. And then you know what I do? I'm leveling up. And so I've put a lot of work into this next level up. We're going to have more overlays, more organized look. I've kind of been playing around with the camera and the layout. All those scenes that I made are going to kind of come back into fruition. And we're going to bring my transitions back, all that kind of stuff, so that we can make it. We're going to start to put in the components to make it look like a show. So if you're scrolling through, or somebody checks in for the first time, or I push it to YouTube, it looks like it was done. There was some thought put into it. Wasn't just random. I've been watching a lot of John Oliver lately. I love the way he does his monologues. I love the way they do his layout. I like the look and feel of it. Obviously, he's got a team of writers that are amazing. I don't have that, but that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to hone my craft in the blog, and I'm trying to write as much as I can and trying to put out my content so that, look, you guys are my critics, and you could say this, I'm relying on the market to tell me whether or not I'm good enough, and I'm going to ignore the market right now because the market is biased because they think I'm an idiot. But the whole point of this is to get to the point where we're putting out something that's reasonable and that looks good and looks high quality, and also pushes the buttons of those people that have the power strings. And if you're on my feed or any of my social media and you're going to continue to punch down on folks that don't have the same experience than you, you're going to be made, I'm going to make a mockery of you. And I'm not going to say names today, but there will be a time where I will pull these tweets up or these posts up, and I'll say, here's a fucking moron, and I don't give a fuck. Don't call it doxing because anybody can Google you. I'm just saying, I'm done with the fucking nice guy shit of ignoring their content because they're misinformed, and I'm actually going to move on to the place where I'm going to say, you know what? That was fucking stupid, and I need to talk about it. We're going to make sure everybody knows how stupid you are. So that may kind of hinder people from engaging with my page with that kind of threat, but if you're going to put that kind of engagement out, what I'd like to see is, you know what, let's talk about how we can make this. Let's talk about whether or not there needs to be a class of athletes. Let's talk about those things. But kind of looking at it and discounting a whole entire post that is advocating for a certain identity or a certain person that you don't understand, and trying to make your political point about freedom or whatever the fuck it is, or trying to throw a jab at me, I'm not going to have it on those type of feeds. There are times to throw jabs, and if you think I'm a snowflake, I'm not. As I said, most of the time when I walk in a room, people kind of think I'm cocky just because I have this philosophy that you're not better than me, and that's just kind of how I roll. I'm sorry that you can't handle that, but that's just how I do. So anyway, look, I am going to cut off. We'll start tomorrow at 10:30, and we'll get back on it. I'll try to put something good together tomorrow because I'll probably be able to see. I wasn't able to see. I'm still a little blurry right now. But I got some new glasses coming, so we'll see how that plays in Peoria. But I will cut off. I'll cut off for tonight. I just want to say thank you again. Look, today, for whatever reason, that's the day that the actual subscriptions kind of get charged to your account. So I get to see kind of the revenue come in. And when I say revenue, that's kind of a joke because it's kind of not a lot, but it feels so good to see those people that are continuing. They can unsubscribe at any point. It's kind of nice when I see the big $50 by a year come out, because then I know, like, all right, they're hooked for a year. They can't just cut out on me. But seeing the person that month after month continues to subscribe, and maybe they forgot about me, maybe not, it feels awesome. I was saying this earlier. It just feels really good to see that there's people that are consistently, supporting me, and it makes me want to keep going. It makes me want to improve. As I said before, if you're watching this, you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'll tell you right now. It's the same thing people said when I first picked up a guitar, and I played until my fingers bled, and I got to the point where I was pretty fucking good. And that was in 3 months' time, and I was playing in front of people after that. So, I'm not to be now I sound cocky, not to put myself out there, but I am determined to become capable and good at this, and so I will continue to improve my craft. And those people that kind of saw me from the beginning are gonna be able to say, what the fuck, dude, holy shit, here's where you are today. That's what I hope happens. And I hope that at some point, I can look back on some of these videos and say, holy shit, what the hell was I doing? But here I am today with the 10,000 followers or whatever it is that I need to keep this sustainable. So want to say thank you. That's a big, long fucking thank you. I really need to work on my exits because I tend to rant, but I'm going to cut out on that. I'm going to take off this little ticker too, because that's really annoying. Ticker, ticker, ticker. I don't even have my fist up. Oh my God. Whole thing without my fist. I'll put it in post. Anyway, one last thing I'll tell you. I spent this weekend, I was at a retirement party, and I was able to kind of act like a photographer, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed taking pictures and kind of then processing the pictures. The reason I'm telling you that is because I'm really starting to take up the mantle of this content producer, this nomenclature that people are using. I'm a content creator, and I'm actually enjoying that part of it. And it was really cool to see the reactions to all the photos that I took. I did some coloration, color grading, and all that shit. And so I hope to see that same kind of reaction when I start pumping out the content for this show. As you know, my primary goal is to get these lives to be tight, but I also want to start producing other things. And so that's why I'm practicing on the side. So what you guys see in this little half-hour rant or whatever it is just a little tiny snapshot of what I'm doing kind of behind the scenes. And you're kind of seeing the output of my cathartic rants that I talk about. But I promise you this, for those people that are paying and subscribing and kind of following along, I've got big ideas and I'm not going anywhere. So make those stupid posts on Facebook. Don't punch down. Maybe you'll make the video, maybe not. But if you do punch down, I'm guaranteeing in the future you're going to make some kind of video. So anyway, thanks everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Thursday. Then one more day, it's Friday. And I got some big things planned for the next. I'll be a week off, but I got some big things, as I said. Thanks for checking in. Buy a shirt, buy a sweatshirt. Tell me another idea. Tell me an idea of a shirt you want to see. I don't give a shit, but go and support me. Go, if you don't feel like spending any cash, do some likes, send me some hate mail. Maybe I'll use that for content. Tell me to fuck off. Tell me to stop licking my lips. Whatever it is, tell me, engage with me. I'm happy to engage. Even if you're an asshole, I will obviously engage back in some form. Maybe you'll make the show. But I appreciate all the love. I will see you guys tomorrow at 10:30, and I am